Welcome to Moments in the Word. I'm James Tyler, your host, and this afternoon we'll be reading from Jeremiah chapter number 6, verses 16 through 18. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways, and see and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way? And walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. Also I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not hearken. Therefore, hear ye nations, and know, O congregation, what is among them. As we look at this right here, we definitely see that it is very much applicable to our lives today. Jeremiah here in this text calls for the return of the old paths and the good way, which can be applied to our lives today by seeking God's wisdom, finding rest in his truth, and recognizing Jesus as the fulfillment of God's promises. This involves examining our current paths, discerning God's will through his word, and choosing to walk in the ways of faith and obedience, finding rest for our souls in him. Applying this text here in Jeremiah 6:16 through 18, we see that the old paths, when they speak of that, Jeremiah here in the speaks of this, and in the New Testament, Jesus himself is presented as the way, the truth, and the life. This can be understood as a call to return to the foundational principles of faith, which are embodied in the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. Also, the finding rest part. The finding rest, Jesus echoes this also, inviting those who are weary to find rest in him. This indicates that true and lasting rest is found not merely in external circumstances, but in a relationship with God through Christ, as well as the potter's clay. Jeremiah here, referenced in some places here, it uses the analogy of a potter shaping clay. This speaks of God's ability to mold and transform lives. Jesus, as the ultimate potter, offers transformation to those who submit to him and allow him to shape their lives according to his will and not our own. And also discerning God's will. The passage emphasizes the importance of standing at the crossroads and discerning God's way. Today, this involves seeking God's guidance through his word, prayer, and the counsel of godly mentors, ensuring our choices align with God's will. Obedience and faith is another point. The people in Jeremiah's time refused to walk in the old paths, demonstrating a lack of faith and obedience. Today, living out this text means choosing to obey God's commands and trusting in his promises, even when it's difficult or countercultural. Learning to recognize and listen to God's voice is an aspect also of spiritual growth that highlights this text in Jeremiah. By seeking God's guidance and responding to his call, we can grow in our relationship with him and mature in our faith. In essence, this text and the teachings of Jesus converge on the theme of returning to God's way, finding rest in his truth, and experiencing transformation through faith and obedience. This involves a conscious choice to seek God's will, trust in his promises, and walk in his path, ultimately finding true and lasting rest for our souls. I'm James Tyler, coming to you live from the Castle Studios, and welcome again to Moments in the Word. God bless.